Victory Monday is here, y'all. Happy Victory Monday. And I'm going to be honest, man, I didn't know when we were going to get this in this season. The Giants started off 0-2. They lost 2 games that in my mind they should have won heading into the season. The Vikings now are undefeated, so that loss doesn't look as bad, but that Commanders one still burns a bit. But we went into this tough stretch of games. We know we had a lot of teams that were going to be hard to beat, and we take on the Browns and we beat them in their place, man. We go into Cleveland, and the defense shut them out. Malik Neighbors took over the game. Daniel Jones played a great game, and we're here to unpack it all, man. Yesterday I did drop a video last night, but we're here to unpack it with the emotions out of it and looking at it for what the Giants did yesterday well, what they didn't do too well, and what they're going to need to change heading into this matchup with the Cowboys, man. So first things off, let's dive straight into it, man. We're going to talk about this defense, and I'm going to be honest. Shane Bowen, you're about to get a video in a couple days, man. You were. After these first 2 outings, after letting Jayden Daniels go all the way down the field on you every single possession and not forcing a punt at all, man, he dialed it up this game, and he got to be one of the MVPs from this game for sure. The pass rush was there. The scheme itself, they had Deshaun Watson. I hate to keep bringing this up, but, you know, seeing ghosts. I think seeing ghosts should be the mantra this season, man. Hopefully our quarterback is not seeing ghosts and we make every single quarterback on the opposing side see ghosts. Man, Deshaun Watson was talking about it after the game. He was pretty much saying that the Giants were bringing pressure. They were blitzing, and that's not something they did the first 2 games. And I like to keep quarterbacks on their toes. I said it in the preview games, man. Deshaun Watson is not the same Deshaun Watson that he once was. And he was pressured and he was running around and making bad plays. Now, we didn't force a turnover by an interception, but he was running for his life. We saw one of the intentional groundings that he was able to pull off, holding onto the ball for too long and getting sacked. Like, confusing Deshaun Watson behind that bad offensive line, which it is a bad offensive line. Usually the Browns have a good offensive line. Their coach is no longer there, and that offensive line is not the same offensive line, but Dexter Lawrence was eating. Azeez Ojulari coming out of the woodworks, eating again. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns had a strip sack. We had our guys show up. And that's what you wanted to see heading into these games. And that's what we need to do to win these games. We know the DBs are not that talented. We know the DBs are not, there yet. Deonte Banks is not there yet. I can't say that as a CB1. He's there. He's in position. He just needs to make more plays on the ball. That's what he needs to do. And hopefully that translates well and easily, because all you have to do is really just make a play. Make a play. You're already in position. Some of the DBs get burnt. Some of the DBs, aren't in the right spot once again. He's there. He just needs to make a play. But the D-line showed up. Bobby Okereke and Michael McFadden played good games as well. Kept the running game on the low. Like, this Giants team was not stopping the run for the first 2 weeks, and they did shut down that run this game, forced Deshaun Watson to beat them, and ultimately they weren't able to. When you look at the points they gave up 15 points, but one of them came after the first kickoff return that was fumbled by Eric Gray, and on the first play they scored a touchdown. Outside of that, man, they really had this offense on lock. And even in that fourth quarter, in that second half, when the offense wasn't moving the ball as well, the defense still stood up and kept this game, under wraps. If it wasn't for that defense performance, man, we wouldn't win this game. If it wasn't for Shane Bowen dialing up those plays, man, we wouldn't have won this game. You saw a lot of blitzes. You've seen guys like Jason Pinnock get home, Michael McFadden get home. My guy Elijah Chapman, if you know who Elijah Chapman is, man. Undrafted rookie, making his first sack. Love to see that. And overall, once again, man, I'm glad the defense came up and showed out, man, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have got this W. And coming off of a week where you let a rookie quarterback, do whatever they want, I'm glad they were able to bring things down and potentially even cause problems for the Cowboys this upcoming Thursday. It's a little too early, and honestly, we might be a little too hype off of it, but I think they have a chance if they're able to play with the same tenacity. It's a different O-line, but it's not a top 5 O-line in the league anymore. And when you think about what Shane Bowen did, confusing Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott's a better quarterback. Dak Prescott owns us up until this point, but we need to make the same type of adjustments and potentially, force their hand, man. Force their hand. Now, looking at it for the offensive performance, man, we talked about it yesterday. Malik Neighbors is him. Malik Neighbors is the guy that you wanted drafting under the 6th overall pick, and he's going to continue to show us, man. He's already turning into a young star, and seeing it coming out of LSU, I knew he had that potential. That's the reason why I wanted to draft him, and, I'm not going to continue to compare him all season, but when you look at his counterparts, man, I just think this guy is different. He's different than Marvin Harrison. He's different than Rome Odunze. What he can do after the catch is great to see, and you didn't even see that much of it this game. You didn't see that much of it. That crazy toe tap catch on that first touchdown throw by Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was getting smacked by Myles Garrett. Laid out a ball that was probably too high for majority of the wide receivers in this league. Malik Neighbors toe taps, brings it down. That's a touchdown. And then right after, Brian Burns gets a strip sack right before the end of the half. We're able to go down there, and I wanted a touchdown. I didn't want to settle for a field goal. I wanted a touchdown, really step on their necks. And what happens? Malik Neighbors on a post route, nobody's around him, and Daniel Jones rifles it in. Great throw by Daniel Jones, man. Once again, throwing in anticipation, because that's something that people feel like he lacks. Some people feel like he can't drive on the ball. He was able to do that on that touchdown, and Malik Neighbors is always open, man. Malik Neighbors is always open. It doesn't matter if he's blanketed, give him the chance to throw up that ball. And even you seen when he mossed Emerson, man, him coming down with that ball truly just shows, hey man, even when my quarterback doesn't give me the perfect ball, I'm gonna go out there and fight for that ball. And you need a wide receiver like that. We haven't had a guy like this in so long. So I'm glad we finally have a dog on our side. And who knows, man? I'm telling you, the sky is the limit for this guy. It really is. As long as he keeps everything straight, keeps his head on his shoulders, and overall continues to perform the way he is, man, this guy is gonna be one of the best wide receivers we've seen here. And I'm not saying that slightly. There's a long way to go, but overall, from what we've seen in the first 3 games, I don't think you could have asked for more. The first game kind of looked silent on his part, but you seen what he's able to do when he got the opportunities. Then you see 10 catches, now coming off an 8-catch performance, man. Going up against the Cowboys, man, I'm excited because I need this guy to turn up again. I need him. And I think the Giants offense really relies on Malik Neighbors. As he goes, that's how they move. Daniel Jones has to keep targeting him. They gave him a lot of targets. He's going to continue to get that. I think it doesn't matter who's guarding him. You're going to have to give this guy the ball, whether it's jet sweeps, what you've seen, whether it's little screen passes. We're going to have to continue to give Malik Neighbors the ball. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson as well, man. He's looked good so far. He's not going to have all the yards that you're going to be looking for, but on crucial third downs, on crucial plays where it seems like everything's kind of covered, Daniel Jones does rely on Wan'Dale Robinson. He's able to get open, and he always makes a guy miss. He's not that big. You don't want to see him get hit. He took a hit early in the game that I was like, man, I don't want to see him take a hit like that again. But after he makes a guy miss, man, he's electric with the ball. He's quick. So hopefully Wan'Dale continues to perform well. Shout out to him. Hyatt did have a little bit of run, but once again, no catches in this performance. And Darius Slayton did go down. It seems like he came back in. That's something to monitor as well on a quick turnaround heading into Thursday night. But the offense, man, it did stalemate in the second half. I know everything sounded great in these last 2 minutes, but in the second half, DJ was a little bit inaccurate. You see Malik Neighbors open on potentially could have been another touchdown, but he just flat out overthrows him. Then he goes back to the same throw, and he's covered a little bit better. Overall, the offense in the second half just was sputtering a bit. Devin Singletary fumbling the ball again. Unacceptable, man. Devin Singletary cannot do this in other games because these are the type of plays that makes you lose games. Like when you look at what happened to the Commanders, it completely killed the vibe. And in this Browns game, it almost did the same thing. He fumbled, and next thing you know, the offense couldn't do anything the whole game. We also missed a field goal. Let's not do this, guys. Like we aren't that good that we can overcome those mistakes. Let's not miss field goals. Let's not fumble the ball. Let's play clean football. And that's what Daniel Jones did. I'm going to give him his flowers. I talked about it yesterday. Daniel Jones was able to succeed on a Browns defense that's a top defense in this league. When you look at their pass rush, when you look at their DBs, when you look at their linebackers, some people were giving me flack because I was saying the linebackers aren't as talented as the other, position groups. JOK is still good. Hicks is still good. But overall, I just knew, in my opinion, the linebackers weren't up to par with other positions. The DBs didn't make too many plays. Now, Daniel Jones could have had an interception, but it did get brought back off of a penalty. And other than that, you didn't see too many turnover-worthy plays, except that one that kind of got tipped out of his hand, and Malik Neighbors swatted it down. Once again, Malik Neighbors, he's the best DB and wide receiver on the field for the Giants. But overall, once again, man, a clean game by Daniel Jones. And after what happened in week 1, this guy could have completely faltered, and you would have seen Drew lock in at this point if he continued playing at that trajectory. But he's looked a lot more sharp. He didn't turn over the ball. He completed 17 out of 19 throws in the first half, which is great to see. The second half, not too much, but once again, man, great game by him. No one can really critique him on the overall performance except for missing some throws. Hopefully he continues to clean that up as the season progresses and this team continues to clean things up overall. Offensive line, great performance. Only 2 sacks, I believe, that were given up. And when you look at, once again, you got Myles Garrett on that side of the ball, and you have, a talented D-line overall. The Giants offensive line stood up, and that was a true test. We were wondering how good they were. We know they're good against the Commanders and other teams like that, but can they stand up against a team like the Browns? They did. So shout out to the O-line. Overall, man, once again, a great team performance. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect us to come out with the W, but yesterday morning I did wake up and I said there's a chance, any given Sunday, there's a chance we can win this game, and we went out and did so. Now we're facing the Cowboys. The Cowboys have had, a lot of success against us, and we can't beat that team. Heading into Thursday night, we're both 1-2. We are both 1-2. They beat the Browns, and we beat the Browns too. So it's almost like, hey, how much do you really take from that game? Are the Cowboys that much better than us? Now, we don't got to go by individual, pieces. We know who they have on that side. But overall, I think the Giants, if they play with that same tenacity, that Shane Bowen can dial up the right plays like he did against the Browns, if he has something in store for guys like Dak Prescott, and taking away the run, hey, you never know. You really never know. That's why you play the games. And I tell you what, man, I hate to be that person that talks about hypotheticals, but the Giants team should be 2-1 right now. We really should. We shouldn't have lost that Commanders game. We beat the Browns, and as the score shows, it was a one-score game, man. It was a dominant performance by the defense. So we need to keep that same tenacity, man. Hopefully they keep that same energy heading into Thursday night. I will be live on Wednesday night for the preview, and then Thursday night after the game, we going live too, man. I am, available. As you know, Sundays I do work a bit, but during the week, man, with my retail schedule, I should be good. So Thursday night we going live, Wednesday night we going live. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that, for my lock-in live on Wednesday night. I'll catch you guys then. Let me know how you feel down in the comments, man. And once again, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like other content. We trying to push this content out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.